Traffic noise coming from I-16 causing an uproar in Pooler's Savannah Quarters neighborhood.
Nobody's outside, and good reason. You can hear it.
Jillian Wells wrote, asked, and answered for help, and like many of her neighbors, her backyard butts up to I-16. We flew our drone so you can see the neighborhood sits back to back with the interstate. Most of the time, the backyards there sit empty because the noise is so unbearable.
I don't really want to be out in my yard. I keep the TV on most of the time because that is a good sound barrier. My neighbors, some of my neighbors are trying to move, and they can't sell their property.
Ms. Wells says when she and others purchased homes in Savannah Quarters, the realtor assured them a sound barrier would be built in 2027. But Ms. Wells says she's learned there's no guarantee the Georgia Department of Transportation will actually build a sound barrier for the gated community. And she wants to know how Savannah Quarters can get one. Now, you may remember we took our sound meter app out to a Southbridge neighborhood in Chatham County after similar noise complaints about I-16. GDOT considers anything over 66 decibels to be a noise impact for an outdoor area of frequent human use as at a residential home. And in Ms. Wells' backyard, it was louder than that. Our sound level meter app hovered around 70 decibels during the morning rush, spiking up to nearly 73. Ms. Wells and her neighbors are now worried the noise will get even louder when GDOT widens I-16. We reached out to GDOT with Ms. Wells' question, and some good news here. GDOT says they are in the middle of doing a noise impact study for the I-16 widening proposal right now. In a statement, GDOT says in part the noise impact assessment is being prepared in accordance with Georgia DOT noise abatement policy and Federal Highway Administration regulations to determine where noise barriers may be feasible and reasonable. If the feasible and reasonable criteria are met to justify spending taxpayer money, a noise barrier will be added to the project plans. GDOT says the results of their sound study will be available next spring, and we'll of course continue to follow this and bring you updates once GDOT releases some more project information. Wherever you live, if you have traffic noise concerns, you can call the number below to reach the GDOT Office of Environmental Services. Do you have a question that you want us to get answered? You can submit your questions to WTOC.com/asked and answered, and we'll feature those answers Wednesdays right here on WTOC.